Bing, bing, bing. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. Yeah, when I was posting this, I had lots of thoughts around. There's a lot of people that have heard the necessary challenge and how the challenge makes us stronger and all that stuff. And that is not what this conversation is going to be about, because there's lots of things that are going on within us that we're not conscious of until somebody calls it forward, which is what I'm going to be doing this conversation. Because for some people, high achievers, entrepreneurs, this has been my journey as well. They like workaholism has become a badge. Like, I'm a workaholic, and they carry it like a badge, right? Well, what they're doing is, I mean, they're avoiding what's really going on inside of them, and they're just pushing harder, and they are expanding energy at a much rapid rate. And glad to see you. I don't know who Facebook is. I just see Facebook user. So if you could tell me who you are, that'd be great. Sorry. Um, and so what this conversation is all about. See, I yeah, this is going to rub some feathers, and that's okay, because that's why I'm here. Is that I would consider, well, at one point in my life, I used to brag about having an incredible tolerance for pain. Like, I have a really high tolerance for pain. But see, the thing is, hey, Jaime, great seeing you, Joshua. Great seeing everybody. I used to brag about having a high tolerance for pain, but the thing I didn't recognize is the pain is the feedback, right? And so now I think about some of the things I did, and it's like, hey, idiot, that pain was there to tell you that you're taking on too much, or that there's something inside of your body that needs some attention, right? And so it's the same thing that we do when we go into the things that give us significance, right? That give us identity, that fulfills the egoic programs that we have taken on, right? And some of us, well, I'm not a baby boomer, I'm a Gen X, but some baby boomers really were raised in a generation, just suck it up, be tough, just push through, right? And that has its place, without a doubt, right? Because we have to push through the thresholds, and we have to become stronger to move through things that we're not able to do when we are in lower states, right? But the thing is that some of the things that we have taken on are literally the things that makes it more challenging. And being strong is not a compliment for some people. And again, I'm talking to myself. Being strong is a warning, because we can be taking things on that are massively impacting our ability to see things in a way that would support us in what it is that we want to create, right? How many things do you carry that if you let them go, it would put you in a much different place? Right? How much guilt do we carry? How much worry do we carry? How much stress do we carry? How much do we trust the process, right? And I know some people, that word triggers them like crazy, right? And I'm speaking to me as well, right? Of how much do you really trust your ability to move through the unknown, right? Because we've all heard this saying, practice makes perfect. Okay, yeah, but what is it that you're making perfect? Are you making perfect a strategy that is not aligned with what it is that you really want to create? Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. And we have to be able to look at, is what I'm doing aligned with what it is that I want to create, right? And then what is it that I have to let go, that I keep feeding my life force, which is my focus? What is it that I keep feeding that is bleeding me out so that I'm not able to get into the places that I want to bleed? I mean, it's like thinking of Michael Phelps, right? I think Michael Phelps, right? He was the mega gold winner in swimming. How effective would he would have been if he would have had a 50-pound weight attached to him? He would have got his butt kicked, right? But see, that's the things that is thinking of it the same way, is what are the things that you are carrying that are not necessarily part of what it is that you want to create, right? And for men, like, I just posted a killer, well, unfortunately, that you could take that literally too. I just posted a video on TikTok that really talks about how men struggle inside, and they just put on this armor, like, I gotta be strong, I'm fine, I'm good, hey, it's all good, life's great. And inside they're dying and going home and thinking about looking at rafters and thinking about which one they can tie a noose to and hang themselves, right? We live in a society that has conditioned us to believe not to be real, right? And so how many of you actually have somebody that's going to come into your life? Why isn't your life on TikTok, RN? Not sure what you mean by that question. is really looking at how much have you designed your life to support you in a way that gives you authentic feedback, like someone that really cares for you and is going to give you the feedback of what they experience with you in the different seasons of your life, if you will. I mean, we can go through 4 seasons in a day, right? But it's being able to notice things over time, and somebody that's really going to give you authentic feedback. I think there's a proverb or something that says, the kiss of an enemy, but I can't remember. Actually, I'm going to look that up afterwards because it's so poignant, to really look at that. Because if somebody really cares for you, they're going to fight for you. They're going to call you forward. They're going to get you to look at things in a different way, right? Because we cannot see ourselves in the frame, right? And this is why, I mean, I know I'm talking about this and I'm going to talk about it a whole lot more until this is why I created the ROI Accelerator Challenge, right? Like, if you knew what was going on inside of that group, like it's a no-brainer. Like, there's amazing things happening. People are creating courses. Like, there's amazing things happening, right? The reason I keep talking about it is because of what's happening, right? It's like, what would you do if you had the opportunity, to have knowing that you have the very thing that could change people's economics, change their relationships, change their mindset, change their well-being? Like, how much would you get excited about promoting something like that? So, because usually when you go live on TikToks as well, I like watching it. They're better than here. Well, and here's a case in point, right? Excuse me. They banned me doing lives on TikTok. And this is the world we live in, friends. This is the world we live in. They banned that account from doing TikTok lives because I was talking about, we live in a society where the people that are offended and don't want to take responsibility for their lives are the ones that's driving this thing. And it's the woke. It's the woke that's happening. And boom, I got shut down right in the middle of a live. I got banned and I'm not able to reinstate it. So that's the world we're living in right now. So I will be creating a new TikTok account here in the next couple of days. And I love doing TikToks. I'm still posting content on there, a lot of TikTok. In fact, there's a lot of other things that I got going on that I'm really excited about here in the very near future. So really looking at, see, just like that. Think of the camel. Now, I've talked about this a number of times, but this is a great place to really take it to a next level, right? We've all heard the straw that broke the camel's back. Now, I want you to think about that. One blade of straw. Like, how much does a blade of straw weigh? Not very much, right? So you think about how much straw that camel would have to be carrying, that one more blade of straw would break its back. And that's how most people operate. They operate about 4 or 5 straws short of breakdown, right? And they carry all of this stuff. And this is the other part, is they get so stuck in their stories. They get so stuck in their loops of going, I can't get out of this. This is overwhelmed. Nobody's going to understand. And they get in these loops that keep them at a level where they're not able to even see what is possible for them, right? Understand, friends, every level of resourcefulness has a different language, right? Like, we get into unresourceful states, and in that unresourceful state, the communication that's going to be going on inside of you and what you're going to be feeling is, you're not ever going to get out of here, right? Like this always happens to you. What were you thinking? How come you, right? And we get into these guilt and shame loops and humiliation loops that just keep playing over and over and over. And it's really difficult to get out of that loop unless we have somebody in our life that's going to have an objective vantage point and say, hey, what's up? Like, what's going on? Right. And this is, I get it. I'm a coach, right? Like, that's what I do. And that was the biggest game changer for me. By the way, I'm backing off of one-on-one coaching. I'm moving more towards group coaching, which is why I'm doing the ROI Accelerator Challenge, is because I want to scale. I want to expand more and more, right? And the thing that changed everything for me, everything, like, I had invested hundreds and hundreds, probably over $1 million in courses and books and things like that. The thing that changed was the biggest catalyst was me getting a coach. Oh, thank you. These are my, what do they call them? Blue blockers, I think is what they call them. So thank you. But yeah, getting a coach was the game changer for me, because over time they got to see patterns. See, our ego won't even reveal to us. It won't even reveal to us what is created. Okay. So Napoleon Hill talked about this. Like, when you go sign up for the accelerator challenge, one of the VIP option is I do a whole class on laws of success. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Plus, you get the group coaching and all that stuff. My point in saying that is the thing that astonishing Napoleon Hill more than anything else. The one thing that astonished Napoleon Hill more than anything else, and I think he interviewed like 16,000 people, was people's inability to get honest about their inadequacies. Right? And that's where, like when I started on this journey of transformation, there was one sentence that changed my life. One sentence that changed my life. And it was, live a life that demands rigorous honesty. Okay. Now, over the course of 30 some years, I've begun to see that as I am, so it is, which means how I perceive things, I'm going to create those kinds of things. Right. And like right now, I'm in a season where I'm getting very, I'm just having opportunities that are supporting where it is that I'm there, where it is that I want to go. Right. And watching what's happening in the challenge is like, oh my gosh, these people's lives are being radically changed. I mean, it's the community, it's everything that's happening. So friends, you are one idea. You are one idea away from changing the rest of your life. You are one conversation from changing the rest of your life. Like I've got 2 people in there that I'm actually going to be doing courses with, right? And this isn't about me. It's about creating opportunities for other people, not only for them, but for the content that they're going to be putting out there and being able to support other people at a much grander level, right? You are one relationship away from an entirely different world. You are one conversation, right? Like everything that I've gotten, like in the last 3 years, was a result of one conversation. One conversation. And it was somebody that I had come on my show. And I look back on what I've created over the last 4 years, 5 years, man, it's probably been 5 years, if not a little bit longer, 5.5 years, was I wanted to create a podcast. And my intention in creating that podcast was I wanted to have stimulating conversations with like-minded people. That was the only intention that I had. Obviously, I wanted to learn how to interview people. I wanted to be able to teach people. And you can access that by going to thepotentialzoneshow.com. And I had one guest come on and she told me about somebody else. I went to this person's event and just radically blew my life up. See, you are going to be put into situations as you evolve and as you let go of the things that keep you playing smaller, right? As you let go of those things, you're going to be put and have vibrational harmony by being put into situations where you're going to be able to see opportunities that you weren't able to see before, right? Like I had a conversation with a gal a couple months ago, it's probably a couple months ago now. One conversation, she was almost homeless, and boom, within like 2 days or 48 hours of having that conversation, she created $6,000 out of thin air. Right. And again, this isn't about me. It's about me being able to see some of the things that support people and letting go. Had a conversation with her coach, doubled her fees within having one conversation with her, like radically changed the course of her whole business in like a 20-minute conversation with her. Right. So this isn't about me. It's about impressing upon you. Where are you putting yourself? What is your proximity? What is your environment? How is your environment supporting you so that you're able to get into think tanks? Like when I was in architecture school, one of the things that I absolutely love that really give me the ability to put things out there and not get judged was what they called a partay. It's P-A-R-T-I. Hey, Miles, good to see you, man. And actually, if everybody could type on here, if they're watching this live or replay, that would be awesome. I appreciate that support as well. But in this partay, you would be able to, the whole group would be able to put ideas up there and there's no judging any idea, right? So what would be possible for you? What would be possible for you if failure wasn't an option, right? And literally failure isn't an option. The only reason you have fear of failure is just because of how the narratives that you have created about how things turn out when they don't land the way you want them to learn. In fact, I had a big epiphany, and I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do it today. I had a massive epiphany today. Think about this. When you were a child, you had an experience with somebody. They showed up in a way in response to you not doing something right, or you getting out of line, or whatever it is, right? You had an emotional response in that moment, right? And they communicated to you a certain way, which made you feel the emotions that you felt, right? But the interesting thing is that that's what we end up taking on as adults. We end up talking to those parts of ourselves just like the person that spoke to us when it was created. Like, think about what I just said. That is hugely, hugely important. See, and what we do is we talk to that part of us the same way so that we don't experience the same thing, because it's like we just take on as a child and go, oh, okay, this person's talking to me a certain way. So if I talk to myself the same way this person is talking to me, then I'm never going to feel what I'm feeling right now. Like, think about what I just said. That is like, oh my gosh, right? But see, that's the opportunity for us, is to recognize how to change your past, right? Like in the challenge, I teach you how to change your past, right? Like, because if we don't contend with what's in our past, if we don't learn how to rewrite the narratives that we have in our past, we are going to project them into our future, right? It's called proception, right? Like, we're thinking about the future and what it is that we're going to be doing, but it's as a result of what we've created in the past, right? And I get some people, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing what us humans are capable of doing to other humans. It's amazing. It never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me the extent someone will go to protect their ego. It never ceases to amaze me. And like, I certainly have had my journey, right? For me, I'd be a philanthropist and build a retreat center for troubled teens and their families. So, Miles, what is keeping you from doing that? Right? Like, that's awesome. To be a philanthropist means you're going to have to create some stuff, right? And so you, because see, and this is what I want a lot of people to think about. Energy, right? Like, the polarity of energy is negative and positive, right? Just like breathing, right? You have to inhale in order for you to exhale. See, in order for you to give, you have to receive, right? But see, we've already, and I get it, like, this has been part of the jam, is that we already want to push it away before we figured out how to receive it, right? The greatest thing that we can do for somebody else is for us to be able to receive it and then teach somebody else how to receive it, right? And now that's going to land however it lands for people, right? But understand that um an insecure person is always going to see a confident person as arrogance, right? And that's where I'm saying, like, there's some amazing things, amazing, and I mean amazing, like the whole spectrum of amazing, from like holy crap to this is incredible, right? Amazing. And that is what's happening on TikTok. Just like I got my life shut down. I got my life shut down for talking about how the world that we live in, and it's the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And this is what we're seeing right now, right? And so I was commenting about that. Boom, got shut down, had it reviewed, and they're not going to reinstate it, right? This is the world we live in, friends. And if you do not think that your attention is the most valuable commodity, I'd encourage you to think about that a little bit differently, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been having a conversation with somebody in the house, and all of a sudden, boom, all the stuff starts showing up on my phone as a result of what we were talking about, right? Understand, friends, your attention is the most valuable commodity known to humanity right now. And if they can determine where your focus goes, they can control how you behave. They can control what you believe, right? And this is so important for people to get this. And this, again, the marketing strategy is you must have this so that you can do this, and then out of that you get to be something, right? The whole thing is about teaching you how to feel inadequate, so that you suffer inside, and so that makes you believe that you need something outside of yourself, right? The truth is, it's you get to be you finding out what your truth is, who you really are, and what you really get to contribute to this world. And that's what the ROI Accelerator Challenge is all about, right? So everybody thinks that you don't need thousands and thousands of people. You don't need freaking massive audiences to make a decent living, or I mean, what would an extra $500,000 a month do for your life, right? Like, you don't need massive, massive shifts. It's just teeny tiny little tweaks, right? But what would it mean to you to be able to create something that nobody else can create it the way you can create it, and put it out there in a way that supports people and create what it is that you want to create, right? So you get to be, then you get to do, and then you get to have. See, the being is all about I am, about identity, right? And once you recognize the value that only you can contribute to this world, then the do is the action, right? Like this is the biggest fallacy of people that teach the law of attraction, right? The secret is in the word attraction. It's ARTTACTION, action. It's an action, right? But see, if we don't value who we are and the fingerprints that we get to be, then we're not going to take the action. And then out of the action, the result, the property, the thing that you build is in the have, right? So the more we understand this, the more we're going to be liberated to create what it is that we really want to create, right? And yeah, so what straws do you need to let go of, right? Because being called strong is a warning, my friend. Your life will break down in the areas that you do not want to pay attention to. Your life is going to break down, right? Last year was a massive nuclear in my life, right? Like there wasn't an area. The only thing that I had coming out of last year was my health. Every other area got annihilated, and it was all very, very necessary. I wouldn't have signed up for any of it, and yet it all had to happen for me to get where I'm at today, and then come out the beginning of this year and created one of my biggest programs. So what is it that you want to create? Okay, so Miles, you talk about being a philanthropist. Awesome. Build a retreat center. What is keeping you from doing that? What is keeping you from doing that? What is important to you about doing that? Right? And like there's lots of people, like think of St. Jude's Hospital, right? Like think about what they do, right? Anything is possible when you get really, really clear on what it is that you want to what you want to create. The other part is what are you committed to, right? And when we start moving towards something, we really find out what we've been committed to that has kept us playing at the level that we're playing at now, right? Like right now, I'm going through some stuff myself, I'm really asking this question: what am I really committed to? What am I really committed to? Right? How important is my voice? How important is the mission that I have? And friends, understand the thing that gets me out of bed more than anything is all my friends on social media, all the people that I get to support, all the conversation. I get to see miracles every single day, right? Like what a life! Like that's amazing. I was literally told one time, I want you to reteach the gospel, right? But in a different way, because the gospel is the good news, right? It's not about religion at all. It's about impacting people's lives so that they value who they are and stand into it, right? Hey, Angel, it's good to see you, brother. Thank you for being here, right? And so that's what my mission is to use my passion and my creativity to empower others to live in their fullest potential. Have you written out your purpose statement? Have you written out a purpose statement and have it be so dynamic that it's flexible? Right. So what if you put out goals out there, you put things out there, but then you let go of the outcome and put in that equation that it could be way more. It could be way more than what you think is possible. I had there's this. It's funny. There's this one TikTok on there, and every once in a while I get somebody that replies to my comment on there, and it's been going on for a couple months now. And it's this gal like, I'm in my mid 40s and all the good guys are gone, and I want my mommy. I'm going through post op and blah blah blah. And it's just my whole thing has been, well, if this is what you believe is possible, this is what you're going to attract. And I actually had somebody the other day that like, this is gibberish. I don't understand. It's like, that's my point. Like your level of consciousness is you're not even possibly able to see what is possible because we get stuck in our loops. We get stuck in those vibrations. Personal trainer, neuropathic doctor, huge farm to grow abundance, organic fruit. Who is this? Like, yes, that's awesome. That is awesome. I can't, it just says Facebook user on this side of it. So I apologize. I'm not able to see who that is that's saying that, but that's awesome. Right. And you being able to do what's possible to make that happen. Right. If I can support you, I'd recommend you go through the ROI Accelerator Challenge, because that's what that's all about, is getting people to really understand the mission that they have and the story that they have, because every single thing, Whitney, oh, of course. Well, I knew there was something there when it come to the farm, right? Like I'd seen something. Thank you, Whitney. Right. And that's what's important. See, there was a reason that our founding fathers lived to be at least double the average living age back then, is because they had a mission. They had a mission that was much bigger than who they are. And that's what drove them. And that's why they lived twice as long as the average age of people. I think the average age for men back then was in their 40s, early 40s. And a lot of them ended up being 80, 85, 90, right? When does the challenge start? The next one, right now, there's a waiting list. Go sign up for the waiting list. You can click on the banner below, the ROIacceleratorchallenge.com, and you will get emails to support you in doing that. It's going to be opening up pretty quick. So I appreciate everybody being here, and thank you so much for your support. It means a lot to me. And stay tuned. There's going to be some amazing things happening, and I'll be starting my new TikTok course or my new TikTok account here in the next couple of days. I got to take care of some things and get that set up, but it's probably going to be ROI Accelerator. Probably is going to be my new username for that. But I still have my TikTok account and still putting content out there. And I appreciate everybody. Hope you have an amazing day. And what is it that you need to let go so that you can stand in a higher resourceful state of who you are? What do you need to let go? Like, how much does worry serve you? It doesn't serve you at all. It is actually a misuse of faith, right? We put all this emphasis into worrying and stressing out so that we think that we can control it from impacting us, right? No, it just makes us feel bad, and we're not able to get into different resourceful states that allow us to see opportunities that we're not able to see when we are in desperation mode, right? So appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. And as always, live like your life depends on it, because it does, my friend. Have a great evening and have an awesome week. And I'll see you Tuesday. Take care.